What's up everyone, I hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to Tuned Into Cars. My name is Paul and this is the 2019 Volkswagen Touareg. Before we dive into details, let's go back in time and take a look at how the Touareg came to be. The first generation was actually a joint venture between VW, Audi and Porsche with the end goal of creating an off-road vehicle with sports car handling. Not sure how that applies to the Touareg, but anyway, let's go on. The result of this project was the PL71 platform that was shared by the Touareg, Audi Q7 and Porsche Cayenne. And beside the obvious V6 and V8 engine variants, the first generation Touareg also featured the 6-liter W12 petrol engine and a V10 diesel unit. 8 years later in 2010, the second generation Touareg was released. The new car had a more polished exterior design, it featured the more upscale interior, and it was the first car in the world to have glare-free high-beam headlight technology. It's a system that constantly adjusted the range and the pattern of the high beam so that vehicles in front are not illuminated, but the area around them is. The car received a minor facelift in 2015, and 4 years later it was replaced by the third generation, the car I'm driving today. This is the Touareg TDI 286 4Motion. It's VW's biggest SUV in Europe, and just look at it, it's all muscle. Every single feature it has is exaggerated. Look at that huge grille, those quite big wing mirrors, 21-inch wheels. Anyway, you get the point. But despite being quite big, this new Touareg is 106 kilograms lighter than the old one, thanks to the MLB Evo platform on which it's based. That uses aluminium for almost half the body's construction. The Touareg is offered with two V6 power units in Sweden, a TSI petrol variant producing 340 horsepower, and the one I'm driving today, the diesel, that has 286 horsepower. All variants come as standard with VW's all-wheel drive system called 4Motion and with an 8-speed Tiptronic transmission. This particular car is finished in this oryx white pearl paint, and it has the so-called modern sport exterior pack, which gives the car a more sportier look. But on top of that, it also has the black R-Line exterior pack that basically gets rid of all the chrome bits on the outside and replaces them with gloss black ones. This car also has the 21-inch Suzuka wheels, unfortunately not the black ones, but we'll give this a pass. Full LED headlights, air suspension, and about 2 pages worth of optional extras. Inside, this car is absolutely massive. There's tons of space in here, plenty of storage spaces throughout the car, and plenty of tech. Just look at these massive screens over here. You basically have a small laptop in front of you and a regular sized laptop in front of you, because these two screens are 12-inch in diameter for the instrument cluster and 15-inch for the infotainment system. They are very high resolution, they're bright, easy to read, and well, they just add a lot to the premium feel of this interior. So let me see what are the highlights there are on the interior. There's so many things on this car that it's hard to remember everything. Oh yeah, the head-up display is pretty cool. The night vision system is really awesome and a very good feature to have if you drive a lot at night. These seats are absolutely lovely. They're so comfortable. They're electrically operated, heated, ventilated, and of course they do offer a massage function. all about being smooth and comfortable. And even though the interior is very well insulated from the outside noises, you can hear a bit of the V6 diesel rumble on the inside. And I don't know about you, but I really like the way 6-cylinder diesels sound like. They sound expensive, they sound powerful, but at the same time they're very refined. And they're quite punchy when you need them to. This engine, for example, is a V6, like I previously said. It produces 286 horsepower and 600 Newton meters of torque. And despite a 2-ton curb weight, when you put your foot down, it can still push you back in your seat. It takes just 6.1 seconds to reach 100 kilometers per hour from standstill, and that's basically hot hatch territory. It's more or less just as fast as a Golf GTI performance. What's not that great when you just want to put your foot down and take off, basically, is the gearbox. Because if you have it in drive and you want to floor the throttle, it takes even a couple of seconds until the gearbox realizes what you want it to do. And that's kind of slow, but unfortunately it's not unusual in such a car. The sitting position is quite high, you have very good visibility all around the car, and these seats are absolutely superb. They're very comfortable, and the massage function works quite well actually. There's also an array of technologies that help you drive this car. The adaptive cruise control and lane assist together work very well, and they make driving this car on the highway and around town extremely easy and effortless. Body roll is significant if you try to drive this car fast on B roads, but it's very well controlled by the suspension. I mean, the car leans in the corners quite a lot, but you have to trust that the suspension will eventually stop that roll, because it actually will. So off-roading, can I be straight up with you on this one? Don't do it in an R-Line Touareg with 21-inch wheels. Just don't. The suspension gets unsettled when driving over rough terrain, and it's just not a pleasant experience at all. It just jitters and jolts all the way to your destination. So my advice is, if you plan to take your SUV off-roading quite a lot, just get the smaller wheels. They won't look as good as the 21-inch ones, but the comfort will be so much better. So now let's talk about the not so good parts of the new Touareg. And the first one that comes to mind is the infotainment system, and specifically the user experience of the infotainment system, because it takes quite a while for you to get used to all the commands and all the menus and sub-menus it has. For example, if I want to go right now into the menu and modify the ambient coloring of this car, it will take a while, because even after 7 days with this car, I still can't remember where that option is buried within the menus. And then there's a few things here and there that don't look that good on a car that has a base price of 60,000 euros, more or less. First, there's the materials on the doors. They're very good to begin with, but if you move down the door, the quality of the materials becomes questionable at best. Then we have the steering wheel that's manually adjustable, as opposed to the X5 that comes as standard with an electrically adjustable one, and some of the buttons on the inside look like they've been lifted straight from a Golf or even a Polo. So is this Touareg a worthy opponent for the new BMW X5? Yes, of course it is. But objectively speaking, the BMW is the better car. It's more spacious on the inside, material quality is a bit better than in the Touareg, and the gearbox is smoother and faster shifting than this one. But despite that, I still prefer the Touareg to the X5. It looks more aggressive, is not as boxy as the X5 on the exterior, and it feels more composed and planted on the road. The X5, most of the time, it felt like a boat on water, so to speak. the body kept moving around all the time, whereas this feels more glued to the road, if I can use that expression. So these are my thoughts on the new Volkswagen Touareg. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you have, and subscribe to Tuned Into Cars for lots more content to come. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.